Привет, привет, привет. Сейчас, секунду, секунду. Да, нормально. Ничего нового абсолютно. Абсолютно ничего нового. Так, это так. Жене это вот так вот надо сделать. Вот так вот. Потом вот сюда нажать. С праздником. Что за праздник? Честно, не знаю. Вообще не стыдно. Ни капельки. Так, делаем вот так вот. Вот сюда нажимаем. Вот здесь вот так вот делаем. И вот так вот делаем. Наурыз. Я не знаю. Я, точнее, откуда я должна знать об этом? Ну, с праздником. А что это праздник означает? В честь чего этот праздник? Так, это вот так вот делаем. Это сюда жмакаем. Это регулируем тут. Все, я поняла. О, привет. Привет. Да, не знаю, как обычно, в целом ничего не поменялось. Не в лучшую, скорее в худшую сторону, но похуй. Сейчас шляться будешь. Ну ладно, тогда хорошо тебе погулять. Сейчас, секунду. Конечно, будем ждать. Конечно. Чипа, привет. Чипа. Чипа. Сына. Чипа сына. Мистер Сэр. Вот как только я сейчас запущу игру, начнет беситься, бегать, блядь. Выпрашивать. Непонятно чего. Ну, он поел, кстати. Все, хорош. Так, делаем так. Привет, привет. Привет. Продолжить. Так, я надеюсь, по звуку все заебись. В целом, с прошлого стрима я ничего не трогала, поэтому должно быть все нормально. Привет, привет, привет. Разжечь костер. Почему мне недоступны диалоги? Я не понимаю. Пипи, это ты? Я вообще не... Я вот поняла вот только по... Как сказать, по аватарке Пипи. Спасибо большое, спасибо. А чё слетел? Что случилось? Я не понимаю, почему я с Артуром не могу разговаривать. Я сейчас. Сейчас здесь волчара будет. Блять, вот это прям жирнющий минус, что я начала заново игру вообще. Заново. И мне... У меня карта закрыта, блять. Сука, неудобно. Опа. Где? Вот, сука, только прыгни мне прям. Где? А, он меня не видит. Бля, он меня видит. А чё так быстро? Блядь, уёбок. Даже я все время не попадала. Ладно. Мне надо своих вызвать. Привет, привет, привет. Да, игра прикольная, мне нравится. Конечно, есть недоработанные части. Ну, в целом нормально. Мне нравится. Что такое тест онлайн? Где звук магии? Вот в этом вся фишка, блядь. Тут много тут такого дерьма недоработанного. Блядь, не то. Стоп. Отмена. Давай огонь. Эх, сейчас бы попасть. А чё я спамить не могу? Ой, как же хорошо, что я визуально вызываю суммонеров своих. Утопленец Н? Или Т? Н был или Т? Нет, это дневник, вот. Так у меня же... У меня здесь, кстати, все открыты. Вау. Хотя тут, наверное, не подсвеченные те, кого я не нашла. С кем я не поговорила. Я потом... Я после этой игры потом посмотрела видосы какие-то, ну, насчет отзывов. И там были вставки, которых я не видела вообще в игре. Давай-ка обратно. Скрим — это 5-я часть тест. Все, окей, я поняла. Это нам надо... О, боже, на КТРУ, блядь, хочу убежать. О, здорово. Так. Брать. Тут со звуком тоже беда ебаная. Ну, со звуком диалогов. То громко, то тихо иногда бывает.
Right, of course, thank you. I swear I will get better at this. It's just that where I'm from, I guess practice makes perfect. I come from a village in the north. It's deep in the woods as well, so we don't have a lot of contact. That's right, very small, very isolated, very... I'm really not, am I? Oh, I've only been doing this for a short time. A century or so, maybe. I don't have all that many regulars either. Most people either curse at me or run away. I don't understand it. I'm not trying to eat. And then there are those who accuse me of trying to trick them. Excuse me. I'm glad you asked. My name is O'Cunnin Cinnamon Sage, and I'm a travelling merchant. I specialise in the various odds and ends I find on my travels. Feel free to take a look at my wares.
Да, у
I'm
тебя
sure
ничего
you'll be
путнего.
able to find something interesting.
Ну
I'd just
давай,
be
ладно.
grateful if you didn't try to sell me any weapons, or nails, or buckets with iron handles. It's not that I have anything against things made of iron. I simply don't condone violence, that's it.
Залагала, блядь. Кстати, когда я переключаю, по-моему, чуть-чуть подлагивает. Не, я не хочу об этом говорить. А в целом у него... Так, при блокировании восстанавливается мана на 200% от заблокированного магического урона. При атаках восстанавливается мана на 30%. Неинтересно вообще. Ну... Почему здесь подсвечивается? Так, мне продать надо. Ну-ка. Ой. А, из тайника. Да, на тайник похуй, он бездонный. Так, продать из инвентаря. 1200. 800 давай. Ну, если что, я могу выкупить. У меня денег много, я богат. Так, спасибо большое, спасибо. 3200. А мой? Не, надо продавать 100%. Очень много занимает место. Так. Вот это тоже продать. Что еще? Безделушки. Продать. Эскизы я оставлю. Здесь продавать нечего. Ну, я кинжалы продаю или просто в тайник скидываю. Мне до тайника еще немало. Да в целом все. Угу, окей. Да я знаю. А я же метку только одну могу ставить, да? На карте. К сожалению. Да. Только одну метку. Я не хочу. Хлебушек. Отмычка давай. Ну, там я еще вроде могу куда сплавать. Или нет? Вот меня тоже бесит. Я вроде не погружаюсь до конца в воду, но у меня все равно синий экран. Вот это вот. Не очень. Жалко, я не могу спринтить в воде. Ну, пойдем к началу. Я хотела на З приблизить, чтобы посмотреть, что там вдалеке. А на З это экран. Все окей. А где? Так, лопух нам не нужен. А. Убила. Ну-ка. Блять, а чё с резкостью-то? О. Апорт, блять, фас, ёпта. Эх, олухи. Пойдем меч, конечно. Долго. Кровавое озеро. Блять, ублюдок ебаный! Чё за хуйня? Я его вообще не видела. Фух. А как, блядь, тут же никого не было. Батя слепошарая, если он в натуре был. Говорить? Чел, всплыви нахуй. Помолиться. Переливание крови. А, хуйня. Ну, там еще можно... Там басецкий будет. Просто не хочу все сразу прям. Надо осмотреться. Так. С той стороны будет... Челикс.
Oi, oi, where do you think you're going? This is my spot. You can, take the other side. Just don't get greedy.
Переливается.
What do you think? It's good material. Be a shame to leave it rotting in the ground. Doesn't hurt that it pays well, if the keepers don't catch you. But there. Aye, it is. So what? It's just stone.
Да, и почему здесь нету третьего варианта ответа? Ну, типа 3 точки. Просто уйти. Ну, блядь. Да мне похуй, если честно. Делай, что хочешь.
If his entire bloody kingdom wasn't in a shambles. What kind of king leaves no heir, only to show up now and then, wave his sword and fix nothing? This statue's done more for me and my family than Arthur ever did.
Эх. Уж убить его нахуй.
Still hanging around? Could have swore you have had better things to do.
Так, секунду. Продолжаем. Так, у меня не назначено... Вот блядь, что за хуйня? Лагает? Раньше такого не было. Так. Какую же баланду мне забиндить? Где побольше? 12. Давай ее. Собачатина. Блять, вот если я возьму, у меня жесткий перевес будет. Ай, черту. Слишком тихо, блять. Ай. Да, блять. Еще? Ну давай, давай, нападай. Сука, давай. Давай, нападай. Ях. Алло, блядь. Ёбаный долбоёб, отойди отсюда. Загораживает мне дорогу. Ну вылазь! Блять! О боже. Ай, отходите. Я сдалека только работаю. А чё я не попадаю? Чё за хуйня? Как же лагает. Короче, ладно, я нахрен отсюда выйду. Я дойду до Safe Place. И потом сюда вернемся, потому что мне надо разгрузиться, я не могу нормально лутаться.
This spot's mine. Just so you know.
Да похуй, я тебя уже разграбила. Красиво.
leash, are we? They must have had their fun with you. Who had you as their plaything? The church? The druids? Some band of cutthroats? But it doesn't matter now that you're free. I'm Avigor, a knight. I swore my sword to my lady's will, and she kept me close until she had no more use for me. Now, I walk alone, but a shadow never strays too far. You look wretched, and you smell like death. I've seen people like you before. Broken, worn down, dragged through the mud. If you've had enough of it all, I could grant you an honorable death. In a proper duel,
Ну слушай,
you
блядь.
lived like a cur, but you could die like a knight. Wouldn't that be just splendid? Just say the word.
Давай.
I'm more than happy to oblige.
Да я тебя сейчас размотаю, блядь. Ай. Ай. Ай, отойди. Ай, отойди от меня. Надо сзади подходить. Сзади больнее. Ну и давай, что ты мне сделаешь? Ебать, он лох. Не, ну первый раз я вообще не смогла его убить. Я, наверное, ближе к середине игры могла только. Что он... Просто тяжело было его убить. Блять, ну это у меня все, у меня перевес жесткий. Нет, вот сейчас да. Блять. Ой. Вот кинжалы мне нахер не нужны. 35 ровно, блин. А у меня есть уровень. Можешь вкачать уровень на выносливость, чтобы... Новый уровень. Атрибуты, не хуй. Там плавал. Сейчас марь пойдет. Блять, это же все исчезнет. Это тоже. Факел не нужен. Да же, блядь, одно и то же. Нет, шанс скрыть урон Угу. Не, у меня лучше. Тупо нет места. Хорош. Все, блядь, надо быстрее добраться. Что это? Здорово, алкаш.
What's
Ну,
happening?
чутка юморца дали.
In the name of the All-Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. Not. I'm not. All right, true. Why didn't you, eh? You could. This pin, I can't say I see it very clearly at this, but I remember Fergus says something about all. Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome. Please speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the cap. Have a pleasant. Open it up.
Чел спит, отдыхает. Так, ну я не могу сюда зайти. Пойти он охуенно выглядит. Ну вот это вот очко, вот мне вообще не интересно на это смотреть. Давай нормально поговорим.
Seawall. He was the first to set foot on Avalon, not me. He decided that if anything were to attack us in this strange land, he would shield me and take the first blow himself. I remember loyalty, a fierce, unwavering loyalty, to me and to Avalon. He must have been someone I trusted deeply. Perhaps as we move forward, more memories of him will come back to me. For now, I only hope his loyalty wasn't in vain. Ah, the horns of the South, the crown jewel of these lands. We had barely laid the foundations of Tintagel when Seawall and his men had already built a lighthouse, eager to guide our ships to them. He always had a competitive spirit. Of course, it helped that he took every sailor from the homelands with him, along with a handful of knights, so they could learn from one another. And thus, the Keepers of the South were formed. I decreed that every sworn keeper would stand as an equal to a Knight of the Round Table. I doubt they still honor that law. But I am glad to see the keepers grown. In my time, there was only a lighthouse and barracks.
Понятно. Аэропривал, надо подождать.
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope.
Запил, мне похуй, я сдам его. Как первый раз, так его вторую.
Most unfortunate. But that explains why you just strutted into the horns. The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, These people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns. And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he?
Да хуй пойми.
If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a knight of the round. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life. Fortunately for me, this pin only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them. You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That's
Предельно.
enough for you? He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. Excalibur. You want to pull it out?
Это не
That's
шутка.
a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can,
Мгм.
go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it. Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn, you did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take
Мне
that at
похуй, я
face
говорю
value.
правду.
Brother Rialgan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand. Now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it is. Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on.
Ах, блядь.
He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty... Right now, Marg is the only other person who's alive. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand. There is a local legend about a dark druid named... Slaughter? Slaudier? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do it. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead... It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible. The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well...
Ну, блядь, я в первый раз выбирала.
Sure, let's go with that. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could... Good. Try not to get yourself killed. And it used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others, until, at last, Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know, ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we... What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head... There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there?
Не хочу.
And have you helped any of my people? Or are you just here to wave that first? Show me you care. And then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now. I trust we understand each other. Good. Come back when you've proven your worth to the Horns. No, I don't take bribes. But if you're eager to throw your gold around, my keepers are running a charity for our... That way, your coin pouch won't weigh you down, and you'll be supported. Thank you kindly. The veterans will appreciate it. You won't find the captain at the Horns of the South. He ordered us to lock down the keep, and then... he disappeared. I have my suspicions about where he might be, but I can't say for sure. And frankly, I hope I'm wrong.
Блядь, я боюсь. Пятка не работает. Или работает? Отключено. Блядь. А, блядь, я думала, это заплатить 100 рублей, нахуй ему. Это восприятие стало.
So maybe he went to make a deal with them? I think that's ridiculous. Everyone knows the Dalriad are savages. Diplomacy is not their strong suit. But if it's true, if the captain did go to broker peace with the Dalriada, you'd most likely find him at the All-Mother's Temple, where One Eye and his thugs are holed up. I can't say. I don't even know if... But if you need to find the captain, that's where I'd start. And if you do find the captain, tell him to return to the... Galahad the Pure is already on his way, and he won't be pleased to find a bunch of keepers hiding behind the walls without their... We'll all face consequences if that happens. Yes? Why not? Don't tell me you're afraid of ghosts. Just don't annoy them and you'll be fine. If you need rest, you can sleep in the barracks. It's no royal chamber, but it's better to sleep under a roof than under the stars, right? Especially in this horrible weather.
Мертвые, да, как сны. Мертвые, как сны. Графика приятно довольно поставься. О, давай. Да блин, прикольная игра. Вот я в нее прохожу НГ+, потому что там DLC, получается, вышло. И ради сюжета, потому что я пошла по одной ветке. А если идешь, ну, по одной ветке, соответственно, вторая ветка недоступна. И вот я хочу пойти уже по второй ветке. Смотреть, что будет. О! Здорово, папаша.
You? Ah, shit. Another mouth to feed. Fergus must have been off his rocker if he thinks I can feed. I'm serious. If we don't open the keep soon, we'll have to start eating rats. Not that I can't cook them in a way that makes you think it's chicken. Oh, this is new. Maybe we'll get along after all. The dimwit. It's a good thing you didn't start with calm down. Or I'd shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a... They say they're running from the weirdness. But who knows? So now I have even more hungry mouths to feed. And since the captain ordered the letdown of our keep, the supplies are doing... Of course, I can make you 1,000 different dishes based on fish and grouts. Now come on, even the keepers need some... Oh, you're trying to piss me off, aren't you? If you don't like my food, then get lost. Go to runs. In the fishing village. That's where the guards retire to sit on their asses and fart. Or sit, fart, and dip themselves into a stupor. Go sit there.
Я даже не раздумывая,
You're
нахуй.
such an adventurer. Let's see if boredom doesn't kick you in the ass. Hell no. I'd rather stay useful here and drop dead at my stove than waste space over there. If someone's still fit to work but chooses to laze around all day instead, they should be kicked out, not rewarded with free beer. Well, an adventurer are you? I'm good for now, but if you find something in and as a sign of goodwill, I'll allow you free reign of...
Так а что нового, блядь, тебе принести? Что это за знак? Ну давай. Это, короче, нет. Не буду я читать. Просто обычные рецепты. Так, это не то. Как-то они занимают место. Блять, мой лук нахуй стоит 1500 рублей. А тут какой-то нищий, блядь, за 2. Пиздец. Да. Надо его продавать. Надо продать. Сбагрить. В принципе, можно попробовать, что у него спиздить. Ну, не хочу у него, блядь, Собачатину пиздить.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osprey to get it pulled out. Sounds like horse crap. My grandma was... She knew how to make a proper potion for toothache. If I were any good at mixing... I even gave him my grandma's recipe, but he said it was no good. Oh yeah? And then what? Another and then another? Give it a few years and I...
Блять, все, квест скипнулся. Я могла бы ему смешать там какие-то травки и просто дать зелье. Ну и ходи с больным зубом. Как и я, блядь. Все, наконец-то. Я могу это все скинуть. Крона короля Артура. Так, как тут положить? Поместить. Да, продать. Скинуть. Я не знаю, что за игра. Ну, я слышала, что есть такая, но я не играла. Одно и то же. Так, физурон мне не интересен. Ну это продать. Это все на продажу. Тут тоже. Ой. Это тоже выложить. Мне это не надо. Так, ну в записочке я, наверное, пока оставлю. Гретфа. Окей, окей. Я надеюсь, я не забуду посмотреть. Ебать. А чё так много всего? Ебать, я прям таю на глазах. Да я и не стримила вот последний месяц, получается. И вот позавчера, короче, запускала его сейчас, и все. А в целом в жизни ничего не изменилось. Ничего нового. Как было, так и осталось. Блять, мне надо жизни прокачать. А мне такие плюхи дают. Это продать, это я пока буду носить с собой. В целом оно, вот это я уберу. Это я ставлю. Мой любимый котик. Брать, убрать. Голова Галахада. Убрать. Топор оставить. Дуэльный щит. При блоке наносит 40% от ваших характеристик и броня, как урон атакующего врагам, а при успешном парировании 75%. Качество мне надо. Это же не урон. Железная стрела. Надо выложить стрелу. Это слишком много. Я им вообще не пользуюсь. Так, это выложить. Метеоритная стрела. Титановая стрела. Плюс 30. Обморожение. Это можно убрать. 250. Охуеть. Я в натуре таю на глазах. Так, подожди. Это что у нас? Железная стрела огня. Топ-5 игр. Я за всю жизнь столько не наиграла. У меня очень мало игрового опыта. Я не могу сказать, типа, какие прям топ-топы. Я просто играю. И все. Мне проще перечислить, в какие я играла. Рыбка Фредди. Топ-1. Это когда я мелкая была. Так. К торговке надо подойти. Да, все принимаю. Да похуй вообще. Все выполню. И Шрек, да, и Шрек топ-2. А, и Винкс топ-3.
All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed. And who might you be? If it weren't for their stupid rules, I'd punch you in the face, you patronizing jerk. Get lost.
Get
What did I
lost.
tell you? Leave me the hell alone. Huh. That's a first. I don't put much stock in heartfelt apologies as a rule. Well, I'll be damned. All right. Apology accepted. And I guess I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have snapped at you. Oh, I've had just about enough of dealing with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have if you can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. Straight to the point, huh? Don't worry, I'll pay you. And who knows, you might even... I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows. Right. What was I thinking? You wouldn't. You're new here, right? Shit. There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp. Anyway, good luck to you. Come.
Вот я не играла. А.
almost none of them happy. I'll never forget. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste, or so we thought, until we started finding a man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out so he wouldn't have to look at his child. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up. Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women. What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall?
Про Лёшу Поповича у нее тоже играла.
You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. I have no home in Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits...
Что её нахуй раздувает?
Trade's just not as profitable as... But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunity. You do realize you won't score any points with the key. Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rulebook. There's a woman from the tribes called Nest. She's my supplier. At least, I think she's still working for me. I haven't heard from her in a while. And she was supposed to bring me some really precious cargo. Something to cap. You still up for an adventure? That's between me and Captain Brandon. Secrets of the trade and so on. If you hire me to arrange something, that'd be... And that's only if you decide to share this kind... My guess, and it's only a guess, is that at some point she must have been somewhere around the bay. That beat... Rumor has it that Bromar No-Face and his thugs are fond of that place, which wouldn't be good news for... You'll get paid, of course. Just let me know what happened.
Так, продать. 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 Это тоже. Ой. Так, ну здесь нечего продавать. Здесь тоже. Этим я пользуюсь. Так, здесь тоже. Все. О! Не, выкупать я ничего не буду. Шелковый путь. Надо сделать так. Готовить, насытить. Тайник. Ой, какой нахуй тайник, блядь. Взять. Не то сделала. Как тут, блядь, определить вот? Скоро сможешь. Меч красной смерти. Это неплохой урон. Скорость атаки увеличится вплоть до 200% в зависимости от того, насколько снижена характеристика здоровья. Я сейчас всю паутину потрачу. Осадный лук, ебанись. Надо со своим сравнить. Вот я не понимаю, зачем пишется. Типа, чтобы я не перепутала вещи, которые я в первом прохождении находила, и все, я поняла. Рывки восстанавливаются на 23% быстрее. Это тоже надо, кстати, посмотреть. Да, кариес надо лечить. Тайник. А нет, кстати, все дешево. Надо это все продать. Новый уровень. Атрибуты нет. Другое я качать не буду. Да, у меня кариес в 2 зубах. Мне надо лечить. Так. 800. Продать, продать, продать. Продать, продать, продать. Этим я могу рубить. Надо сравнить луки. 34. Ух. Неплохо. От такой суммы. Состояние. Это типа бонус какой-то. Что за бред? Так. Что я хотела? Я хотела сравнить, блядь, луки ёбаные. Блядь, у меня плюс 5, но... Подожди, макс выносливость увеличивается. Слушай, тут лучше слева. Может тогда с него снять... Камушки снять и перенести в этот, который мне выпал. Ну, не прям ебануто лучше. Ладно. Убрать.
Sometimes it's nice to just
Ебать ты...
sit and think.
Что-то громко.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole.
Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils.
Я сама, дядя.
Not really. Especially since we went into a lock. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. Oh, so you have friends. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, either way,
пропустила.
for you. Yeah, after we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita,
our captain decided that nobody leaves the horns. Then he shut himself in his office without leaving us any orders. Fergus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds. Sometimes I wonder, how many things can go wrong at the same time. It's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of desperate people. It took a lot of our Then, the Del Rita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed, and so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen. Yes, that damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different... They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. Truth be told, most of them are just people. When the villages started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their life. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now too. I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the... Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing... I heard that Dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that... Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it. And I'll have work for you and me. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown... Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe you've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself... We should start with something simple. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you could bring it over...
А почему стрим так навала? Чё? Я не поняла. Чел, дай мне блядь, за станок нахуй. Встать. Почему стрим? Да, я давно еще называла его так. Типа байтить школьников.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning majesty, King Arthur, and then I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of... I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those. Please.
Уже ознакомилась.
That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as... There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands. So, Camelot... There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it would end. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's but the Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone... And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Well, you've probably heard about the druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up, and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudiarg. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudiarg came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a meal. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done. No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know. Oh, someone finally checked out the notices I was posting on the board. Do you keep bandits' fingers as trophies? I would. Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge.
Это если что, в конце я мысли читала. Охуеть, он теперь не просто сидит, еще и камнями кидается.
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you must be from Quanacht. I should have guessed right away. Oh, I was just wondering what's going on. Here in the south, we have our own affairs. What happens out there in the world? And they should. It's in our common... You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also... And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are... Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course. Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game. Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks. You see? It takes one to know. And that means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy... You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads. And drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues. You finally get it. It's just a pity that there are so few like us. Well, we just have to keep going, eh? And while we're at it, I have to get back to work.
You all right, newbie? Have you been to see the refugees? I can't believe poor Cole was put in a cage. Hey, what a mess. Cole came to us with a group of refugees from some nearby villages. They were looking for shelter from bandits, the weirdness, the Del Reader, hunger. I was happy. You'll meet them in the village. They live in the buildings up high. Not long ago, though, Cole started acting very strange, erratic, sometimes even aggressive. He might have used too much force, and Cole felt compelled to defend himself. He bit. Oh, frankly, I think Mahon brought it on himself. Wait, if you ever meet Patrice, I know it's not much, but I'd like her to know she's not alone. I support her.
Да хуй тебе, блядь.
And I'm sure.
В смысле так... О, привет, Крабик, привет. Я не хотела брать цветы.
Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Aimer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager. Yes, of course. So, what do you need this time? The pass again? Are we planning a trip to the stale? Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. I'm waiting for a delivery. Steward Orla will let me know when... In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. So, you in?
Какой дружба?
Just as we agreed. I appreciate that you remember. I guess you still haven't sobered up, huh? The Stale Lamb. You know, the tavern in the village below the... Truly a great place. I hope hope they're not planning to close it down. Orla. I'm sure I'm not mistaken. You do know it needs to stay between us. Do you understand? Say you understand. Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out at Ron's, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure... Splendid! When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around.
Mm-hmm.
Watch yourself.
Да, жизнь никак. Ну, короче, как обычно идет жизнь. Ничего не изменилось. Нечем похвастаться даже. Секунду. Хорош спать. Бальтазар.
Do you need? This is a prison, not a museum. We don't admire here. We punish. At least, that's what they tell me to say. I'm supposed to be in...
Mm-hmm.
Because I am. I asked for this post. No useless small talk. No shrieking seagulls. And none of that cursed biting. And I get to read my books, too. So if you've got... Usually, it's nothing but interesting folks. I'm telling you. But right now, quiet as can be. Good thing I've...
Это че? Блять. Вау. Ну давай ради смеха куплю. Блять. Ну и уёбище. Физика вообще уёбищная. Со мной же ничего не будет. Ебать, очень тяжело. И нахуя я это все взламывала? А типа тебе вообще поебать.
Who are you? I am. They told me it. I don't like it. The keep is supposed to be my home. The medic and that red priest both came to see me. Both shrugged off, but if you've got anything stronger to drink... Thanks. That cursed madman from the refugee group bit me. I think the boys told me he's locked up in a cage now. Good. By the all-mother, if I'd known he was carrying some foul disease... He's just mad. I told the others that, and as you can see, I wasn't right. Damned if I know. Whenever I've had a fever or cold before, I could always explain it. But this, I can't find the words. Sometimes it feels like I'm fading away. And there's a voice at times, like a dreadful howl. Not at times, I hear our words within it. But more often, it's like a noise from deep within, like something very wicked. Hold fast and steer clear of those strangers.
Блять, еще одна. Оригинал. Блять. И копия.
I have no choice but to defend myself.
Hey. Hello. Are you also wondering what... Lighthouses. Why the hell are Dara and his workers pushing so hard to build the second one? Is one not enough? Is it because, I mean, two lighthouses next to each other are almost the same as one? Two taverns, of course. One to drink in, and the second for when you're already drunk. Aye, why would they? The waters are treacherous, so no ships. Storms and the weirdness are a deadly besides. Who'd have the time to build or repair them? There are enough problems on the island. Well, not much going on here, as you can see. Things have been a bit different lately, due to the refugees. One was even hanged for theft. But I can't say much more as I was. If you're interested in the horns, you should visit our museum. You'll learn more about that fella. What do I think? Well, as long as they follow the rules. Folks are saying that there's some other group, probably more dangerous, not so far from here. If they come closer, well... Aye, it's boring, but at least you don't have to pay to enter. But almost... You can stay here and serve. Sit in the tavern, drink and eat something. There's always something happening out in the world. But you know what? Here in the south, everything happens late. It's a big world out there, and a small one. I don't get it. This is a massive investment.
Ну вот первый, второй маяк.
Touch the feet.
Блядь.
Your feet and my priceless seedlings. I swear, your nose in. Always.
Да, блядь.
I'm Owen, and this is what I do. It's safe. I can keep an eye on it. And when the weirdness comes, and the dead start rising up from their graves... I let Rark in. He doesn't talk so much. He's my best friend. My hole in your skull would be worth 1,000. No, I can handle a few seagulls. I'm not like that idiot Gwilyn. I have everything and you, the fly in the ointment. You need to talk to plants to help them grow. I'm not going to waste my breath on people.
Блядь, я что-то засыпаю, меня прям плавит.
Just keep your head down. Bloody seagulls! Can you hear me? You flying vermin! A keep by the sea. What a great idea that. I'm fixated. Me! Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then suddenly, splat. So I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another... I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the... And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. So, what now? Should I shit on you for that?
Блять, ужас.
I thought they'd learned their lesson and wouldn't be flying over. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is. A fee? I'm not asking you to hunt down a monstrosity from Grubwood or the Sunken Village. Ah, whatever. As you wish. You'll get your fee. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their... I don't know. I'm not sure if there's any... There is one guy in the museum. Riderick.
Were you at the pledge? Yeah. Sleep, damn it, is a worse son of a bitch. No sleeping, no. The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? I shut my eyes for about 15 minutes every day, sometimes 20. Besides, a true keep, but I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, you could stand on the walls all day and night. What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings, and then Yan put it somewhere else. Keeper's vigor. Sounds like you know. Once more, call to this glorious service by the grace of the sea.
Минус квест. Да похуй, там ничего путнего он бы мне не сказал. Ой. Ну-ка, голубцов, похавай. Ну вот она, деревня, которую затопили. Ох уж эти скользкие камни, блядь, как же я это ненавижу.
Owen? Yes, he's my best friend. Heck no. You should have seen Owen 20 years ago. He was sharp as a pin. If you wanted something, you went to Owen, and he always found a way to help you. Politics. What else? Owen survived 3 captains. One was terribly lazy. He just sat there like moss on a log. Then there was another one. He was afraid of everything. So all he did was kiss Camelot's ass. And that blocked Owen's ideas to do so. And when it was finally Brandon's turn, Owen was already... It's funny, isn't it? First captain who doesn't mind introducing new ideas. And our local... So now he just putters around in his little garden trying to find some peace in the twilight of his life.
Надо вообще к Экскалибуру подойти хоть. О.
Blessings upon you, stranger. What do you mean? Not much, unfortunately. I was sent to serve in the horns of the... I only know that many brothers dream of joining the research team, but I am surprised you know about them. The brothers wouldn't allow... well... Touchy. You know that's not what I meant. Know your worth, and the Prophet will bless every step you take on the path you've chosen. Indeed, my child. I have served in the horns of the South since I turned 20. So, it's now my 40th year in the service. As for the asylum, I only know as much as my brothers deem necessary to relay to me. I'm afraid that I simply cannot believe your blasphemous word. Father Leon. I knew him in my youth. He was my mentor, a truly devoted servant of the... Back then, he was already showing signs of being overly... He followed the word and the word alone, which might seem commendable, but it doesn't necessarily... He answered questions with quotes. Can you imagine? We never knew whether his faith was truly that strong, or if he was just... So, this letter... Well, it doesn't prove much. It's true that it's written in a normal way and not using quotes, but the seal matches, and the handwriting too, so I dare not question its authenticity. I dare say, however, that Father Leon's devotion might have... It's a sickness, a corruption. Many of my brothers would call it a curse, a stain upon... And yet, I wonder, did Kai not teach us that all things have a purpose? The weirdness twists and warps, yes. It consumes, and life grows in its wake. Strange and terrible, but life all the same. If we are to fight it, we must first understand it. And that is what frightens the church most of all. Understanding. As prepared as any men can be against something they barely understand. Swords and fire will hold back beasts. But what of the creeping rot that twists flesh? But there is one thing. The Excalibur they keep here. It has not been wielded in an age. Well, even as it rests upon its pedestal, the air around it remains untouched. The tendrils of corruption, the keepers may not see it for what it is, but I do. There is power in that blade. Something, and if it truly holds back the weirdness, then perhaps it was never meant for men alone. Safe? No. But safe. But tell me, what is safety, truly? A stronghold? A weapon? A prayer? I've seen men... So no, I do not feel safe. But I do feel... Certainly. Kai's blessings know no bounds. But sometimes it's useful to seal them in a handy flask.
Не. Me.
May Kai's word always guide you. In the...
А вот будет смешно, если я сейчас достану Экскалибур.
This feeling.
Нет!
So strong. So real. I remember now. The weight of it. The power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me.
А, ну, я его не достану сейчас. Все. Это я уже, блядь, забыла.
Yes, the sensation is, but it carries more than my soul. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it.
А, фух. Сколько? А, ну все, я не достану. Давай, хавай. Блять, ну это будет сложнее получать уровни. Эх. Эх. Ой. Так, секунду. Мне нравится. Ну, я прохожу уже НГ+, получается. Нихуя у него завернули с ноги.
The horns of the south, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Riderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of the... I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are... It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a... It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum. I don't doubt it. Since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the... As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker... Oh, of course. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contribute. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for... The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable... The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the horn. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally... Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself.
Ебать. Я не хочу.
Yes, remarkable, isn't it? You can find them in the central display. Sewell's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin,
О, блядь.
tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is
О, привет,
decorated
Тихон.
with
Уф.
ornamental embroidery. On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that it means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of... It is indeed an... The horn was used by Sewell during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long, and it has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a... It's a memento of the visit of the legendary ruler of... The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. It consists of a plate, a bowl, and a chalice. That detail and the fact fact that those are the only wares from that time that have survived to this day leads us to conclude that this set was cast specifically for that occasion. Really? Do you mean it? Usually people only come here when they've had too much to drink and decided that it'd be fun to come over and start mocking me or touching the exhibit. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. We talked a bit about Captain Lex and the trip that ended tragically in the year 513.
ТГ... Сейчас, секунду, я дочитаю.
In the last voyage of the Andraste. An interesting read, although I'd say it should be classified as fiction. Lady Elaine thought differently. Apparently she's looking for the wreck of the Andraste. Can you believe that?
ТГ я подавала заявку еще 20... Ну, не заявку, короче, ссылку свою скидывала еще 26 января, и мне до сих пор не добавили на сайт с этого времени. Я вот, получается, на прошлой неделе спросила Тути Фрути, она сказала, что скинь мне, и я типа напрямую скажу человеку, который этим занимается. Ну, пока что ждем. Вот. Да я уже, если честно, не надеюсь ни на что. Уже столько времени прошло. На сайте именно в стримеры, там в стримерах нету. Я вот буквально, наверное, 2 дня назад, по-моему, смотрела, там вроде не добавили. Может, добавили как раз. А уведы я и не знаю.
Personally, I believe that people gifted with curious minds should share their observations. For those who should find Lady Elaine in the tavern or somewhere.
Есть. Ну, круто, прикольно. Добавили. Наконец-таки.
I have to admit that local fauna is not one of my main areas of interest, but I do know the answer. It used to be the case that a significant part of the daily cat, so the keepers of that time found a very peculiar. Some of them, called the seagullers, scared off the coastal birds using specially constructed masks. They made the reason the gulls avoided these masks is unclear, but perhaps their peculiar shape.
Сапоги, сюла. Так, там внизу ничего нет. Но я бы на самом деле уже выполнила бы этот квест, если б мне кузнец дал рабочее место. Все, дед съебался. Ремесло. Надо вернуться к нему, да, надо. Вот так вот.
Just stay put. Everything will be just fine.
It's more than a sword. It's a promise. A blade that stands for unity, for strength, and for hope. It wasn't just mine. It belonged to Avalon. Every swing, every battle was fought for the land and its people. But Excalibur is also a burden. It demands more than just skill. It demands purpose. Without that, then it is just steel.
I should stay out of trouble.
Скрим по геймплею, ну да, есть такое чуть-чуть. Как вам, блядь? Подкаты на деревянном мосту. Вижу, лежит. О, тихо. Композитный, бля, ну и дерьмо. Можно было ночью приходить. Тут вроде кто-то был. Лифты — это самая обагованная нахуй часть этой игры. Потому что, типа, когда они внизу, ты нажимаешь рычаг, и ты просто проваливаешься сквозь ёбаный лифт. Я помню, я, наверное, несколько часов пыталась как-то подняться, блядь. Даже на рычаг сам, блядь, прыгнуть. Там, не знаю, в полете. Ой, в полете. Короче, когда поднимается лифт, я прыгала, нахуй, чтобы меня просто, блядь... Чтобы я дальше начала проходить игру, блядь. Потому что... Никак в эту локацию не заберешься, блядь, кроме ёбаного лифта. Ой, я не играла. А, подожди. Да хуй его знает. Не, я играла в Skyrim. Чуть-чуть. Я не шарю. За движки, за техническую часть. Я не отвечу на этот вопрос.
Just keep your head down.
Не пизди.
Finally, do you have what I need? A mask? Ah, whatever sort. Now they'll
Чучело.
get what's coming to them, damn rascals. You're right. Here, take this. But don't think, even for a moment, that the struggle is over. We need more. Are you ready for the next step?
Да ты заебал.
Against the flying shit.
Ладно, похуй, давай.
In a war. Look, I've got the perfect seagull trap design right here.
Блять, надо было отказываться.
You just need to make a few and
and set them up in some strategic spots, like this one. And those flying pests, we need to... Never! As long as I live and can... And I appreciate that. But this war still needs...
Я, блядь, не помню, что он мне дает за этот квест. За респект я уже не хочу ничего из этого делать.
What? May all the seagulls shit on you! You clearly don't understand the gravity of the situation. Soon you'll come crawling back to me.
Угу, иди ты нахер. О, новый уровень. Я хотела здоровье прокачать. Так, не то. Стойкость. Или ману лучше. Да не, мне лимит веса надо увеличить. Да, все.
You scared me.
Ой, не, я пока не пойду туда. Надо здесь со всеми полялякать. Оп. А чё с ебалом?
You're the reason they put me here. You just wait until they let me out. I'll beat you so hard your own mother won't recognize you. Come a little closer so I can spit in your face. Nobody asked your opinion. I drink 'cause I want to. I drink 'cause God... Maybe I was drunk, but the gate was guarded. It's not... But all is not lost. We can still be friends. Listen, just push...
Могу нассать я только в рот.
I'm not guarding the gate right this second, am I? Hmm? Come on, don't be like that. Just... It's no problem. You can buy some from Ron. Don't forget about old Alderaan, my friend. So... Aye, that's for me to decide. Me a throw pass to the bone.
Угу. Хуя ты. Стиль Майкла Джексона. Блять, это же все заново надо обходить. О боже.
have mercy. Not another one. That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old fart. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling up. No. Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit. Now both of them are sick. And Haber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only... So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day and everyone's pissed. No need to tell me that. But I can't just go back to patrolling the walls. I'd rather sit here and hope everything works itself out. So whether it's me or them. The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here's... That's a seaside village! What else would it smell? You do that? That would be a huge relief. Truth be told, I don't know why they want it so badly.
Иди.
It's for boats. No one here even uses boats. But, well, you know how it is with old folks.
Иди.
Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job. The budget's long gone. But if... Not exactly standard keeper knowledge, but, well... Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed at a glorified fish, but the only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like imagining places where things fit, where chairs don't wobble, tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds... well, beds don't... Not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as... But, hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name... She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I... See her out...
Загрузил. Кошачек. Ну, у меня... А, тебя не было тогда. Я просила миньона сделать как карту. Короче, фотографию ему скинул, он сделал как карту. Чипика. Так, куда мне навестись, чтобы починить эту хуйню? А, оно ж по очереди. 50 древесины. У меня есть, только надо ее с сундучка забрать. Я сразу. А, ты видел? Точно, точно, ты же заходил в гости. В гости ко мне заходил. Ну, короче, надо 150 древесины. Кстати, я сюда не заходила, надо зайти. Тихо. Так, взять. Блять, у меня столько нет. Еще рано. Здорово.
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. No, and I'm reluctant to admit that I'm unable to help with this matter. Cole's symptoms are unlike anything I've ever seen. I'm certain it's not one of the usual maladies carried. As for the bite on Mahon, although it was a nasty wound at first, it healed very quickly. On Cole, it's barely visible. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patients something. A wise approach, which I follow myself. What irony?
Давай, мне похуй.
That was unexpected. Here, take it. The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know and how insignificant you are to the world. I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no... Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south. Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start... And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to... He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much... I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a... Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite... Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher... There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died, came back to life, only to die. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, they already trust my word. I'll be sure to... Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. Healing diseases, sometimes cutting people open. Oh, and pulling out teeth seems to be a leading cause of concern for everyone. Me pulling teeth in the arse end of the world? My friends back in Camelot would laugh their brains out. Why would you, though? Don't you have better... Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart. Good point. That is a very good point. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange. Back at the academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is an excellent question. But I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you. And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death and all other ill. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink. But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead. Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Ferguson. In Camelot, maybe, but this far south? I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books, and I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were on. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will...
Так, у тебя ничего полезного нету. А, блядь, мне все заново надо книжки читать. О, боже. Ладно. Так, ну это точно не надо. Вот бы знать английский. А, выпить. Ну так я выпила. Понятно. С ним больше не поговоришь. Блин, так это наверху или где? Наверху.
Stay out of trouble.
And? No, he doesn't. He knows better.
Блять! О!
Look, if I give you something to do, will you stop talking? Here, take some seeds. Find a free plot and grow whatever you want. That'll teach you to appreciate some
Я не то
peace and
выбрала.
quiet.
Поспешила.
Besides, I'm a bit curious to see what will come of it.
I should stay out of trouble.
Время роста 36. Да ладно, не больно. Врешь.
That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. There are a few retired keepers living there. They might tell you about the good old days if you ask them nicely. There are also some refugees from north of the island, since we had nowhere else to put them. I don't really know much about what's going on in that place. I just make sure they have everything they need, more or less. You can always go see for yourself. People fleeing from bandits, from the weirdness, you name it. I wasn't exaggerating when I said we were the last beacon of hope this far south. For these people, we are. Don't know how many more we can take, but that's a problem for another time.
Что тебе... Что с тобой, блядь?
I knew we'd have to deal with this sooner or later. Time isn't exactly... It's hard for me to admit, but nobody, including myself, really knows what's going on. If you find any clues, follow them. I'm only interested in the details, and ideally... Yes?
Нет.
Why not?
Да все, иди.
Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan, take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have... I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Ah, he is the sort too. In fact, he was the builder before me. But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I... If Haber doesn't know, then I don't either. So... Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass, and I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used? When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him.
If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question them. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to... Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the... Serves me right for wanting to find him. Stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would... I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as... Tried picturing myself as a husband. A father once. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're... Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Ah. No. Please. Try not to make...
Buy something or bugger off. Unless you've already bought from Orla. Pursue potential customers. Listen here, pal. Clearly you don't understand how trading works in a place like this. I've no idea where you come from, but here, it's the potential customer who needs to pursue... It's the vendor who makes the decision, not the other way around. How many people here do you think are offering to exchange goods for coins? Yeah, Orla. A woman merchant from the keep. Go on, try giving her your money. I bet she'll just shortchange you and call it a day. I wouldn't mind knowing that myself. She stole a lucrative business contract out from under me and my family. Then made herself at home here. Damn those Timberwall merchants. Everyone's always yammering about Timberwall. Timber this, timber that. Bugger them all. Remember. I just told you. A business contract. It's an agreement. Two sides. Sometimes you can also exchange material goods. A barter But anyway, it fell through. The captain'd rather deal with that woman. Good riddance to him. Well, it's all... Yes, Connacht. From a merchant family, to be specific. Though I've always wanted to join the Royal Geographers. But I broke my leg, badly enough that I couldn't travel anymore. You've never heard of them? They're a guild of explorers, dating back to the Age of Legends. They travel across Avalon, documenting all the lost and forgotten places, crawling through hidden caves. That's what LSA and I dreamed of. Though, only one of us got to live it. Oh yeah? Maybe you wouldn't know a good thing if it bit you right in the ass! I swear, well, a friend from back home. We'd run around Connacht, drawing maps of every corner we could find. And on the farms, LSA insisted on marking. My mother used to get on my ass for wasting so much paper and charcoal. She got in with the geographers, started running errands for them. Well, it was right after said some things I shouldn't have. You know how it goes. We stopped talking. First thing I did when I arrived was ask the locals what this village is called. And they just said, wait for it, the village. There's also a sunken village nearby. So I asked them what that one was called, and they said, the sunken village. So I asked what it was called before it was flooded, and they told me, the village. How do you even work with that? Long enough to know what sells. Not that I'd mind having a wider selection of goods, you know. Some more options on offer. But people here don't need much, so what you see is all. Then there's the refugees. For now, I guess they're good business. Sooner or later they'll run out of money. They don't have any way to earn it since no one wants them here. They'll get kicked out, or they'll just leave and not come back. But there'll be others around to keep the businesses running.
Не, ничего нет у него.
What do you want? Who?
What do you want? To gawk at the beast? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My Cole is not the monster you all believe him to be. So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole. Just know that something is poisoning his mind and soul. I don't know what it is, or why it happened to Cole, but now we're... One evening there was a quarrel between our group, the villagers, and one of the keepers. They'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comment. They hurled insults at us, saying there's no place for us here, that we should just get the hell out of here. Hard. Sure. I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. All they do is sit in that keep. Well, Cole went mad. I've never seen him like that. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious, but the keeper survived. If it weren't for the other... Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cage. His condition started to worsen. They said a monster like him doesn't deserve a jail cell. Bastards. This might sound silly, but before we reached the keep, we came near a strange structure. In the morning, we realised everyone had a strange dream, but it was a little different for each. Cole started acting weird after that. No, only that, well, it didn't make much sense, but he was convinced that something bit him. It must have been some bug. Something changed by the weirdness. That must have caused... I was in a strange place. Dark. Full of fog. I was trying to find him. I called out, but no one answered. I was alone in the night, and then I kept... Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. Frank brought them back. That boy could always find them somehow. It was our protection from the night. Ellis was on watch that day, but from what he told us, he eventually fell asleep. We were lucky no one slit our throats. We set up camp near the arch spire. We hoped that bandits wouldn't dare to venture into a place like that. Well, with everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to... Oh, right. I forgot to introduce myself. As for me and Cole, well, we left Ree hoping to find a quiet place to rest for a bit. We planned to travel the King's Road toward Camelot. Well, here we are. We found our bloody Camelot. Cole is locked up and... Yeah, we grew up there. The village was built around a trade route. My parents ran a tavern that stood right by the road. We had a good life. We lacked for nothing. Well, that was before the damned... Then more and more caravans disappeared into the forest. People were telling stories that grew more horrifying by the day. In the... the same thing that will happen to every place on this godforsaken island. We used to have generous clientele. Merchants and emissaries from all over Avalon. But well, that changed. Then our only income came from the villagers. That was always our plan. Cole and I never wanted to stay there forever. But yeah, I doubt I'll ever see him again. Each of us has a different story. Some wanted to seek their fortune elsewhere, like me and Cole. Some had to flee their homes because of bandits pillaging their villages, or because of the weirdness. Ree could be one of those places by now. There's so much turmoil in this world. People can suddenly lose themselves, becoming a danger. 2 or 3 weeks ago, things were starting to get difficult. A larger group of people is always helpful. There's always someone to talk to and share the... But it also means more mouths to feed and more worries to deal. What? What? How dare you? Do you know the meaning of those flowers in that configuration? Revenge. Revenge,
Мразь.
destruction, and death. There's nothing nice about it, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he's just an idiot. But thank you. For them. Take those flowers away. Burn them. Throw them in a cauldron. Whatever. Be
Вот
careful out
тварь.
there.
Здорово, папаш.
Bloody hell, look at this. The old place is in a shambles. Bunch of decrepit old...
У него вместо руки кружка сразу.
But shuffle around, stare at walls and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer... I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. Ah, but I'm not. Ah, shite. And who are you? What you want? You another one at the road? I bloody knew it. Retirement my arse. At least when I was still working, there was always something... So, what... One day my boy got it into his stupid head that old Gaban is ill. But they're all telling me I should do something about it, or else I'm done for. Like hell I will. I'm still here, ain't I? I've served my time. I've lived me life. And now... Listen, they wanted Heber, that healer from the keep, to come here. He did. They wanted him to... Then he just threw up his hands, mumbled something to himself, and... Hell, I should have been an healer. Wouldn't mind going around being a pain in everyone's arse for a living. These herbs. No idea what they're for. Heber said he doesn't know what's wrong with me.
So there's no... good thing that at least the one guy who hangs around, Finley's the name, doesn't nag me all the time. Yeah, right. He'd better focus on his job. Oh, so many questions.
Ой, да ты заебал. На.
So, what was your question? Hold on. Finley, it's not my care. Hey, first of all, I'm not a cripple who needs a decrepit dimwit running around. Secondly, do you know the problem with having a helper who's mute? He doesn't bloody talk. I mean, it's not all bad. At least I don't have to listen to even more bullshit. He puffs up like a marshmallow every time he tries to say something. Getting a bit too interested, aren't you? Bring a drink over. So... that's what he says anyway. But yeah, he's my blood. Eager like me, and look at that bulbous nose. Won't this so much clearly... It's like half the blighters here don't have working peckers, or they've never even touched a woman. You sure have a lot of questions. Grab me a drink. You see, back in the day, being a keeper was a serious business. Now, don't even get me started. Nowadays, lads get brought here by their own kin when they've had enough of them, or they think the horns can hide them from the law. No, back in my day, there was none of this scum. I came in. My girl cried when I left her, but I've always known this is where I wanted to be. How was I supposed to know she had a bloody bun in the oven? By the time the wean was born, I was already planning the lighthouse's construction. Heck knows what he came here for. That's not my problem anymore, and I don't stick my nose. Oh, so many questions.
А, блядь. Не жирно будет.
So, what was your question? I'm starting to like you, stranger. And trust me, I like me brothers in arms back in my glory days. Good lads, every damn one of them. The kind of men you'd want beside you in the darkest holes of Avalon. But they're gone now, all of them. The old captain got it in his head to send us down to rediscover some mouldy tunnels under the cave. We went in together, but I was the only one to come back out. I can still see a hard loss it was, but I'm still here. Though some days I... Why the sudden interest? Maybe if you bring me a drink, I'll humor...
Я вообще охуел. Я бы его зарезала, блядь.
What was your question?
В игре, конечно.
Those tunnels, right. Well, me and the lads went down there to check if we could repurpose them under the horns. Damn fool. But here wasn't just some empty caves. There were monsters, straight out of Age of Legends. Sick stuff. Stuff that looked like... hell, memory's all twisted up now. Like a bloody nightmare mixed with shadows that don't belong. Want to know more? Speak with Fergus. He's in charge of this shit show now. Now, I propose a toast. Feast, you say? Problem is, sometimes I think they never died. They haunt me in my dreams. Bloody bastards. I swear I wanted to go back and retrieve their bodies. But our late captain, mate Grindelows piss on his grave, forbade me from going. But when I drink, I usually pass out. My brothers deserved better.
Тяжело. Охуенно.
Who are you? Another refugee? This place is already crawling with your lot. It's like a Camelosian privy after a In my day, you only saw old, familiar faces round here. And maybe it was easier to share with others. That's so. Fine. Whatever you say. But yeah, I could... Not so long ago, we just sat down and had a drink with the rest of the You asking me? They came here and made themselves at home. Orderly. No damn rabble begging at the gates and eating us at a house and home. Back then, sure, civilians came and went. But housing them, feeding them? It used to mean something to be a keeper. You could come in off now. Bunch of spoiled lordlings sold off to Brandon by their daddies for a bag of gold. Soft, weak, the lot of them. You watch your damn mouth. We did everything we could. I've said it before. We need a whole damn army to keep this. And besides, how do you know these leeches are even telling the truth? Every village wiped out. Just like that? Give me a break. I don't want... Do you see anything interesting around here? There's this tavern, and plenty of fish in the sea. Decent place to retire. But, well, if you're looking to sightsee, try the sunken village. Just don't... I don't know. But you could put something on the table. Thank you. That's better. We used to come here, the three of us. Me, Berg, and Fedley. But lately, something's gotten into Berg. Hell knows what happened. One day he just stopped talking to us. We went to his house to get him. But he only cursed a blue streak at us. Say, mate, I feel bad for him, but I've got no more patience. And Finley. Now you're talking. Ever since he got so maudlin, Berg usually sits alone.
Okay.
Beer from Kunacht, wine from Farshire, moonshine, only local, the best there is. And stale fish, yeah. Look around. You're in the capital of fresh fish. Unless you're buying from Heffen. I can't vouch for him. You mean the old pier? Well, first of all, it's not that old. Brennan was already... Why is it called that? Don't know. Probably because of all those old folks around. A lot has been happening here lately. Plenty of new faces. I definitely can't complain. I'm fat. People come and go, and the regulars drink as usual. As it should be. Daddy. Hey, not here, obviously. You won't see your old man here unless your name's Dara. Mine sent me here because he hoped I'd make something out of my life. He never wanted me to pour a beer and look at the same tired mugs day in, day out, but as it turns out, the apple doesn't fall. I got mauled by a weird beast during a hunt, and after that, the captain decided I wasn't any good for active service. I was bored out of my mind, and since there wasn't one here, I decided to start a tavern. At least I'm not as bored. No, I don't recall anything like that. But that means... no. Impossible.
What if... Holy moonshine! I remember! Sigibald! It was Sigibald who left those documents behind. I've no idea how you found out about it. Sigi. He's dead. Aye, of course I have. I didn't just throw them in some cabinet. He was a good man. I wouldn't get rid of my only memento of him. Here, after what you said, I assume you'll make good use of them. Even though I'm still... Things are getting weirder and weirder in our beloved Avalon. Well, he died like he lived, with a tankard in his hand. The boys always said Sigi was a friend worth 5 other. He was a prankster like no other. Once, he slipped a rotten egg into the quartermaster's dinner. No problem. Listen, if by some miracle you really talked with Sigibald, please, give him my warm regards. I don't understand it.
Так, ну у него тоже ничего нет путнего.
Oi, Noel, what if I pulled Excalibur from that stone, but it broke, but only at the tip? Would I still get to be king, or not?
You're so daft, Randall. Some magical lass living in a lake gave the king the sword when he broke his own bashing four-armed skulls.
So, the one in the stone, what's that called? It's not Excalibur, is it?
Nah, the one in the stone was called, don't know. Sword in the stone, I guess.
Sod it, whatever. So, if I pulled the sword in the stone from the, stone, and it broke, but only a little, would I still get to be king?
What? No, you'd have to pull out all of it. Only the one who pulls out the sword gets to be king, yeah? Not the one who pulls out a bit of the sword.
Wait, but if you have a sword and it breaks,
Да,
do you
блядь.
tell everyone that you have a sword or that you have a piece of the sword? Besides, you can always take it to the smith and he can fix a new tip.
But if he fixes a new tip, it won't be the same sword.
Are you off your knocker? How's it not the same sword? So, what is it now? A ploughshare?
A shit share.
Listen, just listen to me. You've got it all wrong. You've got a sword, right? And then the tip breaks off, so you attach a
Бля,
new
надеюсь,
one,
мне
right?
ачивку дадут,
But
нахуй.
then,
Это все до конца
let's just say it
дослушаю.
breaks again.
That's one shitty sword you have there.
Now, listen to me. Now, damn it. It breaks off, so you fix it with a new piece again. And then it happens again, and again, and again. Until you finally get yourself a whole new blade from the smith. So get this. If the whole blade was replaced, is it still the same sword?
Well, no, it isn't.
There you have it. You just need to be, what's the word? Rational.
Fine. Now let's have a drink. My throat's drier than a priestess purse.
See, now you sound rational.
Охуеть.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? And My name is Alyssa Murray, and I'm here with my husband, a very important cloth merchant. Not to brag, but we are rather prominent. I am famed amongst Camelot's courtiers. Thank you. I designed it myself. The savage tribes, the brave lightkeepers. I wanted to make an homage to them with my new style, and I do believe I've succeeded. weeks and everyone here will be trying to copy me. It happens in Camelot all the time. It's almost insufferable. Well, my Duncan is here on business, of course. A very important I decided to accompany him because I have never been to the south, and I've heard so much about its wild. So far, it's turned out to be terribly dull. And the smell! Pray, tell me, do you know anyone here who would run a small errand? Oh, of course. You know, I've always found talking about money so distasteful. But needs must, I suppose. Don't worry, you'll be handsomely rewarded. Oh, nothing. You see, I've had my eye on this beautiful abandoned estate overlooking the sea. If we stay here for a while, I need a place for myself. You understand that, right? No offense. When I asked the innkeeper to draw me a bath, he brought me... Finally, someone sympathetic to my plight. My Duncan has been heartless about it. He just keeps going on. He told me to deal with it. Can you believe that? The nerve of the man. Well, what he doesn't know can't hurt him, can it? He should be glad that I can take care of myself. I'm not like the other high-born women, sitting around waiting to be handed everything on a silver platter. And besides, he knows better than to... Fine. The problem is that the manor appears to have some occupants, not legal ones, mind you, who need to be evicted. You'll do it for me, won't you, dear?
Конечно.
I can't wait to... Maybe something nautical, to go with the sound of the waves crashing on the cliffs? Or... Don't let me keep you. Come...
You remember Sewell Firstfoot's tomb? Used to be a popular pilgrimage spot, but ever since the flooding, nobody's been out there.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. The whole place is forgotten, like it never even mattered. Pilgrims stopped coming after the water rose.
You've heard the rumors, right? Some say the Druids caused the flooding. Now, honestly, I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know. Druids? Why'd they bother flooding a whole village? What's in it for them?
Maybe they wanted to keep folks away from something. Or they weren't too fond of Sewell getting all that attention. Druids are a strange lot.
Strange, sure, but flooding a village to stop pilgrims sounds a bit far-fetched to me. Could have been something else entirely.
Doesn't matter much now. The tomb, the village, it's all gone. Nothing but water and memories left.
Aye, a place lost to the depths, and with it, a piece of our history.
You seen all the refugees coming from the nearby villages? They're trying to get away from the bandits and the weirdness.
Aye, I've seen 'em. Can't blame 'em for wanting some safety. With bandits and the weirdness creeping closer, who wouldn't be scared?
There may be, but I don't trust strangers. They could be bringing trouble with them. Never know what kind of folk you're letting in.
You're always suspicious. They're just trying to survive, same as the rest of us. Besides, where else would they go?
Speaking of the refugees, you hear about that one Cole? Looks like he's ill or something.
Aye, I heard. Poor lad's in rough shape, but thank the All-Mother it's not the Red Death. We couldn't deal with that here.
Still don't sit right with me. Sick folks in a crowded place? It's a risk, it is.
Maybe, but what are we gonna do? Turn them away? We've all got our burdens to carry.
Did you hear about the
Да,
captain's
что-то долго.
lockdown? Looks like the lads aren't too happy about it.
Yeah, but you know Fergus. He's got a stick up his ass. Only knows how to follow orders like a good little soldier. He's so uptight, he probably agrees with the captain. thinks it's all necessary precautions and the like.
Speaking of precautions, what's all this talk I'm hearing about the weirdness creeping in? People are getting jumpy.
Ah, the weirdness. Got folks scared, all right. Used to be old stories to spook the young ones, but now, even the tougher lads are starting to believe there's more to it.
If the weirdness thing's real, we've got bigger problems than a lockdown.
Aye, and Fergus better pull that stick out of his ass and start focusing on the real threats, or we're all done for.
You seen all the refugees coming from the nearby villages? They're trying to get away from the bandits and the weirdness.
Aye, I've seen them. Can't blame them for wanting some safety. With bandits and the weirdness creeping closer, who would...
Даже ничего не дали, блядь. Нахуя этот пердёж старый, блядь, слушала.
Hello, child. You look competent enough. I can see that you're not of noble blood. Oh, no need to tell me that. I've tutored the children of aristocrats from all over Avalon. Fortunately for you, my opinion of them is not particularly high. Oh, and you don't look like one of the locals. Are you a visitor? Or an adventurer? You can talk. Now, my name is Lady Elaine. I oversee the Farshire Library, the greatest collection of books. By the All-Mother, don't tell me you don't know what the largest duchy in the middle of the island, with the wise Lady Kincaid in power, who has a hold over the entire territory. I know, child. I know. Everyone was surprised. Camelot turned up, but after Lord Kincaid died and Aidan, Lady Kincaid's son, disappeared, the nobles of Farshire decided she could stay on. Even if Aidan had been alive, she would still be ruling as a regent until he came of age. But between you and me, he wasn't a very bright boy, so she would have been ruling until her death. Oh, we're lucky to have her. Difficult times require determination. Worse than ever. Oh, the wordness is thickening, and that's why I'm here, wandering Avalon looking for solutions. If I... You're probably wondering what a feeble old lady who can't even lift a sword could possibly accomplish. But King Arthur didn't conquer Avalon just because he couldn't swing a blade. No, he had knowledge and enough wisdom to know. Lady Kincaid wasn't happy when she found out about this idea. But all Mother's mercy, I am her tutor. She cannot dictate what I do, no matter her standing. Oh, do you mean a family? Oh, I've never had time for such trifles. No suitor was ever more interesting than a good book, nor did any of them smell better either. And I've raised enough of other people's children to never wish for my own.
Эх, Чипа.
Oh, surprising. I'm looking for someone who will help me find a certain artifact. So, are you interested, child? I came to the Horns of the South because I found a fascinating book. It referred to a certain object, a figure most likely, which apparently it can be found on the ship called Andraste, which sank over 100 years ago somewhere in this area.
Ты чё, борзел?
When I asked those nincompoops about it, they just laughed at me. They said that the Andraste wasn't carrying anything of value, and even if it was, they wouldn't freeze their butts off in those chilly waters. The Last Voyage of the Andraste by Elvis the Lightkeeper. He was one of the more notable keepers. In his waning years, he became an adjutant to Captain Lex. But it's best if you read it yourself. You can read it very carefully, and after you're done, come to me, and I'll tell you more. And they say young people don't want to learn anything. Go on, chop.
Все. Мне не дадут покоя. Ладно, тогда закончу на этом. Потому что он так и будет сидеть здесь. Так, сохраняем игру. Подожди, отмена. Сохранение есть. Ну что? Что? Ну? Ждет, когда я поцелую. Кыса. Да сколько? 19:0. Бля, ладно, сделаю новое. И все на этом. Выйти в меню. Да. Всё. Всем спасибо, кто поставил лайки, кто сидел, кто ушел. И... всё.